Okay. We are good to go, Becca.
Excellent. So as you all can see, this is just a little outline of kind of what we'll be going through today. So we're going to start off with our information about NACCR 2026, which is our big biannual conference. And we'll get more into that and why, if you guys have gone in the past, why it's called NACCR this year instead of NACCB as it usually is. Then we'll move into talking about just reminders about our chapter registration and the importance of associate membership for folks who are involved in your chapters, along with doing a Q&A session about the grant funding for chapters. And then also talking about a really cool event that we have going on in the spring, which is going to be a scavenger hunt in collaboration with our Student Affairs Committee. So you can go to the next slide, Bernie. So NACCR. So if you all have ever been to NACCB in the past, that is our biannual conference. But this year we are teaming up with Society for Restoration and Society for Ecological Restoration, SER. And so we will be co-hosting with them in the wonderful city where Bernie actually currently lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we are just so excited that this is going to, by collaborating, it's going to provide an opportunity for both societies to kind of have a wider spread with the network. And then it will also offer kind of, again, that larger pool for professional development. And then also talking about, how we can kind of bridge conservation and restoration together. I think we can go to the next slide. So once again, this will be held in Milwaukee. It's going to be gorgeous. I did get to see the venue at a site visit last March, and we have a lot of fun stuff prepared for you. There's a lot of really cool, little restaurants and things to eat kind of nearby. There are also like, what is it, Bernie? Like there's professional baseball that'll be happening too, I believe.
Yeah, is it also in the middle of the World Cup? So there will be likely events taking place near the conference venue.
Yeah, so there's going to be just a lot of fun going on in addition to getting to talk about conservation with folks. And in addition to that, we are also, as we've had more engagement with our chapters recently, we are looking to host for the first time in a few years what we are calling like a chapters oasis at the conference itself. And so what we're trying to do is create a space where chapter members can really come and engage with one another. And then also to be able to find out more if there's folks there who are interested in starting chapters or maybe joining a chapter that they don't know that's nearby them. Our goal is to really kind of re-engage our chapters, which we've been trying to do since things got a little bit disconnected during COVID. And if this is something that, you're thinking, if NACCR is already on your radar, and you're thinking that you might be attending or might have members of your chapter who are planning to attend, we would love to hear that from you guys so we can kind of know, what to expect on if folks are interested and either planning on attending or they'd like to, but maybe finances are a little tricky. We will be talking about some like scholarship opportunities that we have too. So feel free to drop in the chat if you have heard about this before and are planning on coming or are interested in having more information. We're always happy to talk to you at a later date too if you or your chapter members have questions.
If I may, there's two things that I wanted to add to this slide. One, if the chapter's Oasis idea is built around the youth Oasis idea. If you're familiar with the Nature for All initiative, they usually create these youth oases during different conferences. And they are really popular in getting just folks together to talk about things of mutual interest. So having said that, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that this is also a space for you as chapters of SCBNA. So if you want to use the space for a chapter get together, a mini event during the conference, just let us know and we'll be happy to make it available to you. It'll be a reserved space in the conference venue that will always be available for chapters. So easy to use, easy to organize, and easy to find.
Thank you, Bernie. With that, if you are or someone you know is planning on attending, we do still have slots open as far as registering to be able to present your own research. Our call for abstracts is open, and we have sessions available for poster sessions, speed talks, and the full talks. I do know that space is limited, so if this is something that you're interested in, I do recommend, getting your application in. And the deadline for that is going to be March 15th, for the abstracts for all of those different sessions. If you are interested in presenting, but you're like, how do I do that? Or I feel like my presentation isn't quite polished yet, we do actually have a workshop being put on by the Student Affairs coming up real soon on February 27th from 2 to 3 p.m. Central. And the QR code, again, will take you to the registration link for that. Of course, you're welcome to join this just if you need help with the abstracts. And we're hoping that that's a service that really encourages participation with NACCR.
Again, just one thing that I wanted to add to this, and there's a question that we usually get is, can I present on a project that doesn't have any results yet, is in its initial stages? The answer is yes. That is one of the main things we'll cover during next week's abstract preparation workshop is, how do you craft an abstract for a project that is in its early stages? We'd love to hear from those projects. We'd love to have those present at SCBNA or at NACCB and NACCR. So don't feel like you need to have your final concrete results in order to present.
And of course, finances, how much is this going to cost? If you've been to conferences before, you do know that that comes with a fee generally. And we do have a series of tiers for the registration rates. So there is an early bird tier that I believe that's early bird registration ends May 1st. So if you're able to know by May 1st that you're for sure going to be able to come, that is when that rate would apply. We also have discounts for members. So again, later on, we're going to be talking about that associate membership in the society, which we're asking folks to have as long as people do have a membership, whether they're a paid full-fledged member of SCB or that free tier of the associate member, you do get that membership rate. So a little bit of a discount. And then we do have one-day options as well if you're not able to attend the entire conference. But we do also have some scholarships that we can show the link for those applications in addition to volunteer opportunities. So if you would like to apply for a registration award that would take some of the money off of that price, that application is due by March 31st. Also, if you have the availability to volunteer, we are looking at taking $150 off of your registration. I believe this year we're asking for 9 hours of volunteering at the conference, but that is another way to kind of bring that cost down and make it more accessible. And then, of course, all this information and kind of more on there is also available on our website. The deadline for that volunteer application is going to be, I believe it's April 6th is when they're starting to review those applications. So you'll just need to have that in sometime before then. So kind of essentially the end of March for both of these, but you have a little bit of wiggle room on that volunteer app.
And I believe an email was included in one of the previous slides. It's the conferences at scbnorthamerica.org email. Please feel free to use that for any questions related to the registration awards or volunteer applications. We're happy to respond to any and all questions regarding those two options.
I'd like to maybe pause there for a moment to see, does anyone have any questions related to NACCR? Okay, well, we can always also catch up at the end if something does come to mind. Alrighty, chapter registration. I believe a lot of these chapters that we currently have represented here have filled out their registration form, but this is just a reminder that we do have that new process now where that's that Google form that takes about 20 minutes to complete, that we are asking for folks to complete in January, though this year we have extended that. We can extend it a little further if you haven't gotten it in yet, but please, just as soon as possible, filling out that chapter's registration form if your chapter has not done so yet.
And one thing that Beck and I have been trying to make clear is that this is not a tool for us to, make chapters go inactive if we don't get your registration. This is mostly so that we know who is active and doing stuff and also how to contact you in order to provide you with the support that we want to provide for all of your activities. So this is really for your benefit more than anything else.
In addition to trying to have more continuity, if there is like leadership changes and stuff like that, I know that that is something that we found during COVID when a lot of chapters went dormant. That part of that was because we didn't have the databases built up or that things got misplaced. So this will really help us keep track of everything and have a record of folks who are in the society and interested in continuing to be informed about all the cool stuff that SCB has going on. So with that, also I know a lot of our chapters are based at universities, and that comes with natural turnover. So we are really asking that everyone in the chapters does become a member of SCB as a whole. There is a link in that QR code that'll take you to the membership if you or your chapter members are not already at least associate members. That is a brand new free tier that allows you to become a member of the society, whether you're a part of your chapter or you've graduated and moved on. This is for every single person, and we're really asking that folks have their chapter members become associate members again, so that you can stay connected to the society, really benefit from all of the network and career development opportunities that come, whether you're a part of your university still or not, especially since, again, most of our chapter members do seem to be associated with universities. And with that comes a whole laundry list of benefits that you get, such as our newsletters, discounts to the conferences, as you've seen with NACCR, voting rights, and just all kinds of cool stuff. I know in the full membership benefits, there is also like a job posting board that Global kind of maintains. And so there's just a lot of cool stuff that comes with being a member. So this is something that I don't believe that we monitored as much in the past, but it is something that we are going to be asking for from the future forward. And I believe we briefly touched upon in our fall business meeting as well, that folks who are a part of your clubs and your chapters are becoming at least associate membership benefits, which again is a free tier. And so that way we can, again, have that kind of database of contact information. And so that if folks, move on and do other things, we kind of know where people are at and how we can get them connected to do all the cool stuff that SCB does. With that, we do have a really handy membership tracking spreadsheet that we provided. That would be an easy way for folks to keep track. So you just need your member name, their member ID, what year they started their membership in your chapter, and then the year that they became like an associate or full paid membership with SCB. And then if they have moved on from your chapter, just that year as well. And we feel like this data is going to be something that, again, really helps us stay connected with folks, even if they're not actively a part of a chapter anymore. So feel free to utilize this spreadsheet. It is available in our Google Drive.
And for chapters that might not necessarily have access to our Google Drive, that's also part of the reason why we like for you all to register, so that we can share that link, and so that you can have access to the Google Drive as needed. That drive includes a lot of useful information in addition to the spreadsheet, and we're always trying to add more information to it so that you can use it for your own chapter activities.
Perfect. Another application that we do have in that Google Drive is our chapter's funding requests. So we wanted to remind folks that we do have some money set aside in our budget where we can actually award funding to chapters for certain projects. These requests are usually fulfilled in the $250 to $500 range, and we disperse up to $1,000 per funding cycle. And sorry, let me see my notes here. These things are selected based on the following criteria. All of these funding requests are processed as reimbursements. So we do ask to kind of ensure that, project guidelines have been followed, that we will award the money retroactively. And so, Bernie, I believe the next slide has the guidelines for kind of what we're looking for. Yes. So we are looking for projects that have like a clear, project description and the budget for which they plan on using these funds. We want to make sure that these projects are completed, of course. So again, a nice outline of kind of how that is going to happen. And then of course, utilizing other resources that perhaps your university or other fundraising efforts that you have, just kind of showing good faith effort that your chapter is also using other resources as well to help complete these projects. And also just showing that, again, your chapter is engaged with the community and that this is something that's really bringing a group of people together to accomplish. And again, as a reminder, this will be distributed as reimbursements. We haven't seen a lot of chapters utilize this pool of funding in the last few years. And so we're also curious to hear from you guys if there are any like roadblocks that you've had with that. If you're having trouble accessing the document, you just didn't know it existed. But yes, I see Anderson, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I had a question. What's the final deadline for receiving funds for the spring?
You mean for applying
Yes,
for?
for applying.
I believe it's the end of this month, or it might have been, yes, I believe we extended to the end of this month. But again, we primarily want chapters to use this funding. So as we're developing these new processes for chapters to access resources and funding, both Becca and I are happy to be flexible. As long as we receive an application and chapters are using the funding for a project to benefit their members, then we're happy to think through some, flexible dates for applications.
Great, thank you.
Yes, Julie.
Julia.
Do you guys have any, by any chance, like past examples of projects that these grants have funded?
Yes, we do. We've included a few on the chapter guidelines or guidebook there that is available on the Google Drive. I'm happy to share that as well with anyone that needs it. And we have also been adding examples of activities that you may be able to carry out with chapter funding to that same Google Drive. So that the drive contains the most up-to-date information on potential examples. But if you send Becca or me an email, we're both happy to meet and brainstorm through some potential activities.
And then once we have the applications, these are the kind of projects that then, of course, we would be discussing with our chapters committee. And then that is how the decisions will be made on how the awards will be given. Alrighty, I think we are ready to move on to talk about the spring scavenger hunt, Bernie.
So this is my turn to talk a little bit about a spring scavenger hunt, and I'm really excited for this. So the scavenger hunt is a virtual program, virtual activity that has been designed by the SCBNA Student Affairs Committee in collaboration with the Chapters Committee. The broad idea is to bring together as many members as possible from SCBNA and to participate in a more interactive way than we have in the past, right? So rather than inviting folks to attend a webinar or a 1-hour workshop, we are really envisioning the scavenger hunt as a longer activity that involves a lot more of our members. And so the way that it's going to work, is we're going to have an opportunity for members to complete a series of tasks, either individually or as a team, from April 1st through May 31st. There's a variety of different tasks, with each task corresponding to a specific point value. Those are listed on the main scavenger hunt platform, which will be hosted through Slack. So if once you sign up, you'll be given a link to join that platform and see all of the different activities. There's everything ranging from, take a picture of your favorite flower and upload it to the Slack portal, to, go talk with a conservation or restoration scientist about their work and then share what you learn with the rest of the members in the scavenger hunt. So it's really, again, meant to be more interactive. And then once all of the activities are completed by May 31st, presumably we would have a winner or a couple of winners. We're looking at one individual winner and one group or team winner from the scavenger hunt that will be awarded registration waivers for NACCR. So we're also looking at this as a way to increase, interest in the conference, potentially connect some members that are already planning on being at the conference anyways, and then, offering opportunities to attend the conference in the process. The deadlines for the scavenger hunt are shown here on the screen. Currently, the registration deadline is March 15th, and then we'll have a kickoff meeting with our student affairs representative on March 25th. At that point, we'll explain all of the rules. We'll kind of go through the logistics for the scavenger hunt, and then we will kick everything off virtually on April 1st. So almost 2 months of activities and interaction and networking with lots of SCBNA members.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Bernie. I am so excited for that event. And I know, the Student Affairs Committee has done a lot of hard work trying to plan to make that something excellent for everyone to participate in.
Do folks have any questions about the scavenger hunt?
The registration is on the committee website?
Yes. Committee website, although the QR code here should take you directly to the registration form. And in case you are looking to participate as a team, we are encouraging chapters to join as teams. However, I believe we're going to limit the number of individuals per team to about 4. So, it may be that you have only 4 members in your chapter that are wanting to participate in this, in which case, fantastic. If you have more than 4 members, then I encourage you to have multiple chapter teams to participate in the activity. Great to know that Kingston is putting together a team, Julia. Okay, well, if you have any more questions, I'm always available to answer this.
Alrighty, we do also have more QR codes where we're putting together, a database of opportunities for students. So this is for non-federal, like basically job opportunity and what is the word, like internships. So this is for graduate students, postdocs, undergrad research opportunities, and lots of different professional development. And so we have 2 different lists. We have one where if you know of an opportunity for students, you can go ahead and add to that listing. Or if you yourself or folks that you know are searching for opportunities, we do have a list compiled of all of the awesome things going on right now, because we do know with federal funding being shaky, this is a resource that we are hoping helps folks during this period of financial resources being a little bit tighter than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention as well this list in particular is going to live on our website for the foreseeable future. It's always updated with new opportunities, and it also complements some additional resources that are also being crowdsourced from our members. So if you participate in this, fantastic, but you might also look at other lists that are available on our website. Feel free to participate in those as well.
And as always, we would love to stay connected with you all. Here are just some of our handles. I know that we follow a lot of the like Instagram accounts of the chapters that are represented here. But just always want to give a shout out for Digital Connection too. And then, yeah, I would like to open the floor back up if there's any questions about anything that we've kind of gone over today, or just otherwise chapter related. We would love to hear from you all.